Video 3. Today we're talking about the very important aspects of learning and academic excellence. Every one of us, we have strengths and weaknesses. For the strengths, of course, we develop them and we make sure that we have a very good understanding of the talents, and that's how we can groom, especially our own or even our children. But we also have weaknesses. Let's not stress too much on the weaknesses because there's only that much we can do to help the weakness. So let's focus on understanding the strengths and how we can actually develop them. One of the key factors that affect many children in their learning is this thing called concentration. Over the years, with the hundreds and thousands of people that we have trained and coached, we realize that if the concentration issue can be settled, a person's learning ability can go up by 20 or even 30 times. So how do we do that to train the concentration? Right, this is one of the simple exercises that we do for all our children who are especially going through the whole brain development or whole brain activation. It's just simple 8 arrows on a white piece of A3 size paper. Yes, it has to be A3 size, and with a space in the center, right? 8 arrows in 8 directions. All you need to do is to stare at the blank space in the center for 1 minute. So what you do is to take your stopwatch, put a timing of 1 minute, and start to stare at the blank space. The key thing to take note is you must do it 90 degrees. That means right in front of this paper or screen at 90 degrees. So let's do a simple test. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, we don't have the time for you to really stare at this for 1 minute, but I think you understand. What happens is when you're training the concentration either of yourself or the child, over a period of time, you'll see that the black arrows start to disappear one by one. And when the 8 arrows disappear, then of course they come back within that 1 minute, concentration of this individual has been trained up to the maximum. So you can only do it 1 minute at a time. The only thing is you do not do it continuously. So space out between every 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Do this simple 1 minute exercise, and this person's concentration can increase, and then the rate of absorption of information can go up by 20 or even 30 times. So concentration is a very key important element of learning. And how do we get this information? First, we can get it through the fingerprint report. For the full version, on page 8 of the report, under concentration intelligence, this will tell us naturally, is this person weak or strong? And for most of the reports, which is close to 85 to 88% of the report, this particular intelligence is actually weak for most people, because most of us are born with a very weak occipital, which is the right behind our eyes, the part of the brain. So that exercise that we have shown you is one of the simple exercises for us to train. Now, but it can be developed over time. So how do we measure this development? Again, from the neuroscience band, we are able to see the concentration level of this individual, right? And that is really something very powerful for us, because as you can see from this report, the person's attention span has gone up 8 points within 3 days through the proper brain development. And these will actually help especially a student to do much better in their studies. Next, we want to talk about the way they think and how they process information and the way they talk. Now, these are very important aspects of parenting, because understanding how we talk and how they talk will enable us to actually communicate with them better. So this thinking and language pattern, again, all this information through the DNA can be found on page 8 of the report. These are the particular segments that we look at to understand the child's natural talent or weaknesses in these areas and how we actually unleash that. So whenever any child comes from our program, they actually get a full report, and all our instructors are trained how to decipher the information and coach the right way to help the child to unleash their talents. A few other things about the health of the child in terms of academic excellence. One is, of course, the health. Through the scanning of the fingerprints, we see all these kind of health hazards that a lot of people have. You see all the white lines running through the fingerprints. These are all caused by chemicals, and the more chemicals you have in your house, the worse will be the health, and health being affected will also affect the way we perform. All right, you can see many of these very badly infected fingerprints. So in terms of the fingerprints, we actually advise parents to shy away from all these very toxic chemicals that you find in the supermarkets, because our body, the skin is the biggest organ in our body, which is called the lymphatic system, and all this has the ability to get in contact with all these chemicals that destroy our health, and that will also cause a lot of cancer in the future. Next, we take a look at the food that we feed, right? If you're feeding your child a lot of all these fast food, McDonald's, KFC, just beware. Make sure you go organic so that the health of the child can actually increase over time. And using the right kind of music, especially Baroque music or alpha brainwave music, will help in terms of their health and also their academic excellence. Next is radiation. I'm sure you have Wi-Fi at home. Your children may be handling handphones, and all these radiation actually cause a lot of harm to the brains as well. So please take note. Every time your child is exposed to the phone radiation for 15 minutes, at least 1 to 2 million of the brain cells dies instantaneously because of the radiation. And last but not least is to give them enough rest so that they are able to function better and concentrate better. The better they rest, the better they function. So what is really needed in terms of the issues that parents have always faced with the children? Number one, get them good proper brain food, right? For children, I'll strongly encourage high DHA content food, which is omega-3, 6, and 9. And out of the three, omega-3 is the most important for them. Next is to have enough rest, like sleep, and give them positive affirmation by encouraging them speaking words of affirmation so that they can build better confidence and they can groom their leadership. Our whole idea is without judgment, talents can be unleashed. And this is what we aspire to do in our company. So for those of you who are interested to let us parent with you for the next 1 year through a series of workshops and coaching, do sign up for our EduHub membership. The links are there for you to sign up or to download the app so that you understand what we are providing you with for the next 1 year. I'll see you in the next video.